Hi everyone, it's Hatsy and I'm back with a create a sim of a very special family. So this part, I say part, this is a create a sim. They're called the Edwards family. Sorry, I couldn't actually see it on the computer there. The screen's really small, like whilst I record my footage. So that's why there was a delay. However, this is the first character in the new Machinima Let's Play. This is the main character, Victoria, and she's the mum. And I am so much looking forward to just explaining everything about her, and this is what this is really going to be about. So unfortunately, no crazy stories in this, apart from a Sims crazy story, which could be really cool because it's all made up, and I love this. So Victoria is supposed to be a really ruthless, manipulative woman. She was inspired off several different characters from movies, books, even in real life. I used to know a woman that was a little bit like Victoria, and I think I've spoken about her before. Her name was actually Victoria. How weird's that? But she didn't look anything like her, just mainly in the personality. And there was also another woman who used to date my uncle who looks a little bit like Victoria, and she had something in common with Victoria. How many times do I have to say Victoria in this video? I have no idea. But it's like 12 o'clock where I'm recording this, and I'm super passionate about Victoria's story. For some reason, I have no idea, but I just am. So, she owns a tea shop, and her life is just one massive drama fest, honestly. There is no piece of drama in the town that Victoria is not involved in. Like, that's her story. She's just involved. She fights with people, she steals people's husbands, she's mean, she's ruthless, and she has a husband of her own. But she's one of these people, she just like kind of likes her safety net, if you like. You know, she kind of likes to live this double life, and then she'll kind of sneak out after hours and go and, you know, meet people and stuff. She's really nasty. However, she has an amazing haircut, and I don't even know where I found it from, but if I can find it, I will link it because I love this hair. Honestly, props to the creator, because I don't know who actually created it, but if you know, or if you're watching this video, there's probably like not a very high chance you're watching it, because to be fair, a lot of people on Tumblr and a lot of people that create CC don't actually watch YouTubers, or don't actually like YouTubers, mainly. I've noticed that, yeah, it's like a really negative thing. It's like, oh, you're a YouTuber. It's like, oh, you're a criminal. That's what it feels like. Anyway, back to Victoria. So she is somebody who is very flirtatious, and she has a very sort of boring relationship with her husband, who is about as interesting as a piece of toast. Like, not very interesting at all. Toast is pretty interesting though. Maybe something even worse than toast. What's worse than toast? What's like really bland? Flavorless soup, you know, something like that. I don't know. Come up in the comments below and tell me what is the most boring thing that you could compare somebody with. That would be interesting to know. A glass of water. Wow, that would be very boring. Yeah, let me know if you can beat a glass of water. If you can, then amazing. Props to you. So Victoria has a family of 4. So there's her husband, her daughter, and her youngest daughter. Now the thing is, she has a bit of a difficult relationship with her husband, because I imagine them to have been together for ages. Like probably since the age of what, like, I'm gonna say 14, you know, kind of in that age range where you're young, like you're really young and probably too young to sort of know much about like a proper relationship, if you know what I mean. So she's kind of grown up with him. There was never any reason to dump him because they were okay together, and then they just like naturally got married, naturally progressed onto having kids, but she never really felt fulfilled. So that's why she kind of is very promiscuous with people. She's very promiscuous with the tea shop. Not the tea, but as in the people that may visit, and that's it. So I think it's going to be a good one. I hope if you like drama, you're going to like it. It's not going to be the most happiest series though, but it's not going to be frightening. So that's going to be nice. Like, you're not going to have to sort of brace yourself, you know, for watching my videos, because that starts to happen recently. Like, I've had some comments like, wow, Hatsy's changed, and things like that. But no, I've just really got into sort of creepier horror, things like that, just because it's interesting to create. You know, it kind of gives me a bit of a challenge to create something completely new. But equally, you know, I do love just sort of dramatic things that happen, you know, a little bit like Desperate Housewives or something. You know, this is the kind of thing that we're dealing with at the moment, sort of Victoria's life, but it's just not going to be including any of the sort of creepy horror spaghetti men or demonic things. I feel so bad. You know, all of a sudden, this just like random video appears and it's like Sims 4 demonic spaghetti man. And yeah, you know, that's going to happen every now and then, but also not that often, if you know what I mean. So Victoria's outfits, so let's go on to those. She tries to dress up for the tea shop. You know, she looks a little bit vintage. I honestly don't know how I would classify her fashion sense. Probably just a bit different, just unique. She was also kind of inspired off Morticia from the Addams Family, but she's supposed to be sort of the lighter, sort of happier looking version of her. She's like a mix between several people. So, okay, going through the people that she was inspired by. So, my uncle's ex, this random woman that I used to know that my parents used to play tennis with, Morticia from the Addams Family, that strange teacher that everybody comments about because I didn't know the name in the Harry Potter speed build, but oh, what's she called? Dolores Umbridge, that's it. So I just had to look that up. But the reason why is because of her kind of style and like her office, how it's got like all the plates and it's really vintage looking. And to be fair, if we had Sims for cats and dogs at this time, there'd probably be a lot of cats and a lot of like cat objects, things like that in there as well. But we couldn't. That brings me on to a really cool idea, a cat cafe. You know it's happening. Anyway, going on. So apart from that, I think I've pretty much mentioned everybody that she's inspired by. So she's just a little bit gloomy, a character that really does think about herself a lot, and that is going to be her downfall, unfortunately, because she doesn't consider other people. So that's going to have some consequences probably in the story. The Machinima series is going to be about 5 parts, I think. Anyway, this is a daughter now. So I thought I'd make a daughter next, and then the father is after the daughter. I was a little bit disappointed because I personally felt that at the beginning of this, the daughter was starting to look a little bit like Kendall Jenner. Now, I don't have anything against Kendall Jenner. It's just not what I imagined for the daughter. So I changed her a bit. She's supposed to look like a younger, potentially more attractive version of the mum. I know that's horrible to say, but I think that makes it worse for the mum, because the kind of person that Victoria is, she'd get really angry at that. You know, there's somebody younger and better looking than her kind of coming along, and it's gonna be hard. Like, you know, if she ever goes out for coffee with a daughter, or like, you know, goes out in general, or, you know, maybe some good looking person visits the tea shop or whatever, then it's probably not gonna be Victoria being the center of attention. It's probably going to be the daughter more likely, and like the daughter's probably going to be getting people's phone numbers and whatnot. That's going to annoy the mum. And she's not as ruthless as a mum. She's more like a dad in that way, but she's not boring. She's just more down to earth, and she cares about her schoolwork and stuff like that. So yeah, she's inspiring. You know, I would have found her inspiring when I was at school, but hey, that doesn't mean to say that I would have tried harder, because I probably wouldn't have. Yeah, I hated school so much. But I honestly think that, you know, a lot of it was to do with the teachers teaching the subjects. I think that if you have a bad teacher teaching you a topic, it's not going to make you like that topic. You know, you need a good teacher for a topic. Like, for instance, I had a really fun maths teacher, and then they switched, so I had somebody else, and it just wasn't interesting to me after that. I was like, okay, what maths? Math who? So, that's just it. And it's the same with art, actually. Like, I'm very arty naturally, and I had a really bad art teacher, and it just made the whole thing really unpleasant. So I honestly think it just depends on if you have a good teacher. Yeah, that's just my 2 thoughts on it anyway. So going on to her other outfits, she is supposed to be very formal all the time and probably look, you know, quite dressed up in a tea shop. She's not your typical sort of rebellious looking teen. She hasn't gone through that, and she's probably not going to. She's really down to earth, and she's probably the good girl in the class, if you know what I mean. Like, I probably wasn't ever that, but I knew a lot of them, you know, kind of girls that would go home after school and finish the homework and not want to get in trouble and pack their lunches before they went to school and things like that. She would probably be that person. Not in a bad way, I'm just saying that she was just nothing like me, because I used to have hot dinners, that was a thing, but then I was one of these people, I was really indecisive. So I'd have hot dinners and then I'd decide that I didn't like them. And then I'd go back to packed lunch, but then hot dinners. And it just went on like that. It really wasn't that interesting. Just like the father. So now on to the father. He is supposed to be a little boring man. And that's not to be nasty. Not everybody can be the spotlight here. And I feel like we need a character like this, you know, somebody that isn't offensive. Like, he's not an offensive man, you know. He's not like the father in Callywell Estate, who I really just hated. And I think pretty much everybody hated the dad in that. I'm probably going to get the comments like, when's Callywell Estate coming back? Because I pretty much get that every video. But, oh, it's a sore topic. If I'm going to bring it back, I'm going to redesign it all, because I feel like looking back at the Machinimas and the story that was once really exciting and sort of impressive to me, because that was kind of advanced at that point to me, it feels like my Machinimas now are just much better than they were, so I need to just rebrand the whole thing and probably start again. I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, this is a dad, so he is someone that is just going to be looking after the shop. He's fairly oblivious, to be honest, to like his wife and sort of what she's up to. I feel like he's probably got more important things to do in his life. You know, he really enjoys just looking after the shop and staying at home with the kids, and that's really it. You know, he's just a really inoffensive character. But Victoria, I wouldn't say she's evil. I'd just say that she's really ruthless, really manipulative, and she really does only think about herself. But I think the scariest thing about her is there are real people like that, you know? There are people that are just like Victoria who just don't give a damn. So I think it's interesting to have a character like that who's not necessarily evil, demonic, or spaghetti-like, but have them probably equally as frightening and equally as damaging as an actual scary character. Anyway, that is the end of the Create a Sim. So just at the end there, we could see the little toddler girl, so she's going to be part of it as well, but she's really young, so she hasn't really got a personality yet, so hey, I'll decide soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all for the series.